What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Maths Guy. Today we are looking at how to add and subtract mixed number fractions. So let's waste no time, let's go. Okay, what do we need to remember today? Well, we need to remember that we need common denominators to help us. So let's understand what that means with this first green chili example. I have 4 1/8 added to 3 3/4. So if we were going to stack these like a normal addition question, I would have 4 1/8 added to 3 3/4. But at the minute, I can see we do not have common denominators in our question. I have an 8 and a 4, so I need to find common denominators. So one method of finding a common denominator is I could multiply my 4 by my 8 to end up with 32, which would be a common denominator of both. So I'd have two new common denominators, each 32. And then what I would need to ask myself is, how did I get from 4 to 32? I multiplied by 8, obviously. How did I get from 8 to 32? Well, that's right, I multiplied by 4. So whatever I've done to the bottom denominator, I now need to do to the numerator. So 3 times my 8 is 24. 1 times my 4 is 4. So my new set of questions could look like 4 and 4 32s added to 3 and 24 32s. But I have seen something even quicker. I can see that there was a relationship between my 4 and my 8 even to start with. And I could actually find a common denominator by just doubling my 4 to become an 8. So I don't need all of this. And what I could have done is just seen that I have 4 and 1/8. And then instead of 3 3/4, I could just get myself from 4 to 8 by timesing by 2, which give me an 8. Whatever I do to the denominator, I need to do to the numerator. 3 times 2 is 6. So my new fraction could be 6/8. So I'd have 4 1/8 added to 3 6/8. Makes it look a little bit easier than having these big numbers over here. Now when I add this up, I can just add up my whole numbers. I have 4 and a 3, leaves me with 7. And I know I'm going to end up with 8s, because when I'm adding 8s together, I end up with 8s. 1/8 plus 6/8 will always give me something 8s. Now I can just add up my numerators. 1 and 6 leaves me with 7. So my final answer is 7 and 7/8. Let's look at that again with this second example. 5 3/4 subtract 2 1/2. And again, I can see that I have a relationship between this 2 and the 4, and I can actually turn this 2 into a 4 by just multiplying it by 2. But whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then 1 times 2 is 2. So my new fraction could be, instead of 1/2, could be 2/4. To prove that, let me draw a chocolate bar over here for you. Cut it in half, which was the first fraction, would look like that. If I draw another chocolate bar the same size, but instead I cut it into 2/4, 1, 2, you can hopefully see I have the same value of chocolate bar. So it's an equivalent fraction. So now when I stack them up, I have 5 3/4, subtract, don't forget, 2 2/4. So let's start with my whole number. I have 5, subtract 2, which leaves me with 3. And because I'm subtracting quarters, 3/4 subtract 2/4, I know I'm going to end up with something quarters. And now I can just subtract my numerators. 3 subtract 2 is 1. So my answer is 3 1/4. Simple. So now it's your turn. Here are two questions, one addition, one subtraction. Have a go at using the same method that we've just used to help solve these questions. These are a little harder because you can't see a direct relationship between the denominators. So you might need to find a common denominator by multiplying them together. In this case, I'll give you the new denominator. It would be 10. So press pause on the video now. Good luck. And there you have it. That is how to add and subtract mixed number fractions. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, head on over to themathshelter.com, where you're going to find loads more videos to help you with everything you need to know about your age group maths. But for now, guys, I'm going to see you in another video. Peace out.